So in this video, I want to share with you all the platforms that I use to manage my money, from investing it, spending it, to tracking it, as well as for my business. I always love watching those kind of videos myself to get some inspirations of new tools. So hopefully this video can also give you some inspiration of some new tools you might be checking out. Now, to be fair, I used to have way more tools in the past. I actually cut down quite a bit. And actually, if I wanted to, I could cut down even further to have less tools. But right now, I feel quite comfortable having not too many, but enough to be diversified and just feel comfortable having all the right tools for the needs. But I'm sure if I make this video 2 years from now, I might be using different tools. That's the beauty of it. It always evolves. I always want to make sure I utilize and get the most out of my money, right? Also, none of those apps I'm talking about today are sponsoring this video. So it's really my unfiltered opinion and really tools that I use with my own money. Yes, sure, I do have affiliate links with some of those, which you'll find down in the description below. And if you use any of them, you will get a benefit. I will get as well. So it's a win-win scenario without any extra cost for you. But it's definitely not impacting my decisions because trust me, I wouldn't be putting my money there if I didn't find those tools trustworthy. Right, so let's kick things off with the first category, and that's investing. That's obviously what I speak mostly about in my channel. And here I categorize it in stocks and ETFs and cryptocurrency. Unfortunately, right now there aren't too many brokers or exchanges that combine both of it. I think it will come in the future, but for the time being, you're probably going to have a stockbroker and the crypto exchange. And the first stockbroker here is Interactive Brokers, arguably the stockbroker I've been using the longest. I've been with them for a number of years, and really a stockbroker I can absolutely blindly recommend. Really the most solid internationally available stockbroker out there. I absolutely love it. And if I could only have one with all my money, it would have to be Interactive Brokers. Is it the most sexy and glamorous one? No. Does it have the most benefits and perks? No, but it is solid, low cost, and really, I trust my money there. Absolutely, really not worried at all. It's a US stock listed broker. And the beauty of it also, why I like it so much, when I moved, for example, from Europe to the UAE, I just informed them and they made an internal transfer and my portfolio was now based in the UAE without having to sell it, rebuying it, incurring tax payments and so forth. So if you're really serious about building a global international stock portfolio, I think Interactive Brokers is the way to go. With this, we move to the second stockbroker that I use, and that's eToro, my most recent one. I haven't been using them for so long, but in that short time, built up quite a sizable portfolio, and they actually allowed me to become a Platinum Club member, which comes with its own set of benefits. Very user-friendly, very simple. And one of the main reasons why I love it is because I can deposit US dollar free of charge. There's no commission. It's instantly in my account, and I can invest it for ETFs without any commission. Love it. And for stocks, I pay only $1, which is really reasonable. So yes, for me, really solid platform that I've been really happy with. And lastly, we move to Trading212, my third stockbroker that I use. And yeah, also been using them for a number of years. Absolutely love the platform. I buy right now 2 ETFs over here without any commissions. Absolutely love it. And I really recommend it also for beginners because it's so easy and simple to buy your first stock or ETF without any commission, and even set up recurring buys where you can create your own pie and have automated investments into stocks, ETFs, or combine those two, and then set it up and then have those stock buys triggered on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. Super simple, super easy without any commission. So I think it's really the perfect beginner platform. And even later on, you can still grow with it. If your portfolio is 6-figure, 7-figure, I would still be using Trading212. And they also still pay really nice interest, probably some of the highest interest out there on your cash, despite cash rates coming down. But you can see on the dollars, currently 4.1%, and on euros, 3%, on the pounds, 4.6%, which is really not too shabby. And if you want to check out Trading212 for yourself, then use my link down in the description below to get a free fractional shares up to 100 euros or pounds. Of course, I also used different stockbrokers in the past. Another one that I can really recommend is Lightyear, even though personally right now I'm not using it that much because it's mostly only operating in the EU and UK, and now I'm based in the UAE, but it definitely is a solid platform. There are many other great platforms out there as well. And if you want even more deep dives into which stockbroker might be right for you, you can check out matchmybroker.com, a website that will basically take you through a couple of questions to help you find the perfect stockbroker for you. With this, we move to cryptocurrency, and here I used to have a number of tools, but in recent times I actually really scaled back on those and only using one crypto exchange right now and mostly one hardware wallet. So let's start off with the crypto exchange, which is Nexo, and I've been really loving the platform, especially for the interest. You can see over here, in total I earned interest worth $2,750 just by keeping my crypto over here. However, in recent times, I actually felt more comfortable moving most of the crypto off the exchange and into my hardware wallet. I'll come to this in a second. And you can see right now, if I go into the wallet, now I only have the Nexo token left because actually they're tied up in a fixed interest term. So once those terms come up, I would then probably exchange it to Bitcoin and also withdraw it to my hardware wallet. But previously, I kept some of my funds like USDT over here where I earned 12% interest. So definitely really attractive, and overall still my favorite crypto exchange. And still I'll be using it to exchange my fiat currency, my euros or dollars, when I send it over here, then actually exchange it on Nexo Pro, which is much cheaper than doing it inside the Nexo app. And if you have a Nexo login, you can also use Nexo Pro. So very easy. It's much lower fees, and I exchange it and then I withdraw it into my hardware wallet. But overall, really user-friendly, very easy to use. I can even borrow against my assets in the future. If I wanted to have a quick loan, for example, I could send some of my Bitcoin over here and borrow against it, which is really cool because I'm not planning to sell my Bitcoin anytime soon. So that could be also a great way to really utilize the platform. But of course, many other great exchanges out there like Binance, OKX. I mean, good players. But then again, even like Bybit, right? One of the biggest exchanges out there, we've seen recently getting a major hack, even though luckily it seems most users got their funds back. But still, why would I want to take that risk right now and expose myself to potentially losing my cryptocurrency when I can take self-custody of it? And talking about self-custody brings me to my hardware wallet of choice, which is right now my Ledger Flex. I mean, obviously Ledger makes great hardware wallets. I also do use Tangem. It's another hardware wallet, really super easy to use. I use that more for day-to-day transaction. If I quickly need to send money somewhere around, it works via NFC very quickly to approve transaction. Just hold the card to the phone and I'm good to go. But for storing my Bitcoin, which I mostly have right now in crypto, I will use and prefer my Ledger Flex, which is really easy to use. And recently I upgraded from a Ledger Nano to Ledger Flex because it has a touchscreen and it's just much more user-friendly. And I then manage everything inside the Ledger Live app. Really user-friendly, really easy to use. And yeah, just love the experience overall and definitely recommend to take self-custody of your cryptocurrency. Not your keys, not your crypto. The saying is for a reason. You want to be in control of your keys. Don't trust them blindly with some exchange. Right, with this, we move to the next category, and that's managing the money on a day-to-day basis. And for this, I really have two main apps that I use pretty much on a daily basis. Now, I could technically reduce this to even one, and I did so when I was living in Lithuania in Europe, and that was Revolut, which was my daily driver really. And to this day, it's hands down one of my favorite app experience. It's so smooth, so nice, does everything I want to do, and moving money around to different accounts, exchanging it to different currency, have multi-currency over here. I still even earn nice interest. You can see on my dollars, I earned 4.35% paid out to me daily. So it's really, really nice. And yes, I'm on the Ultra plan. That's obviously the most expensive plan, but I do get quite a lot of benefits like Financial Times, NordVPN, Perplexity Pro. So some really cool benefits that I actually use. And for me, the most exciting one is the unlimited lounge access, which I don't have any other card for that. And here I can go to Dubai Airport Lounge, in Lithuania Airport Lounge, any airports. Makes traveling so much more comfortable. And I actually also use it with the Pro card. So here I can get, as you can see, 1% cashback on pretty much most transactions I do with the card. So for me, I really use Revolut as the place where I receive money, send money from, making payments super, super simple. But unfortunately, Revolut right now does not operate in the UAE. So mostly when I'm based in Europe, I use it way more, right? Because to do the day-to-day transactions, pay with my Revolut card and so forth, it really makes sense. However, now that I shifted majority of the year to the UAE, that's where I started using Wio Bank. And you can see over here, they have Wio Personal. So that's for my day-to-day banking, which I use it, absolutely love it. And also business for my own business that I operate here from the UAE. And it's just such a smooth experience because I can tell you, when I came here a few years ago to the UAE, unfortunately, banking experience here wasn't the best that I had, but since I started using Wio, I absolutely love it. It's probably the closest thing to Revolut that you can find over here. Super simple, all digital. I even chat via WhatsApp with my bank. It's super fast, super responsive. Right now, I earn 4.75% on my UAE dirham, so it's really attractive. I have multi-currency accounts, so really, really nice. And definitely, I'm very happy with the platform. So most of the year, obviously, I'm using Wio as I'm based in the UAE. And moreover, I even forgot to mention, I get 2% cashback on every single credit card transaction that I do with my Wio personal card. And then obviously for business transactions, I use my business card as well. So that's what I use most of the time. But then once I'm back in Europe for the summer, I will be using much more my Revolut card. In the past, I also used Wise, but then again, I felt like I had too many tools and too many places where to send money and transfer, and I didn't really find anymore that Wise had many more benefits over Revolut. And I really like with Revolut that I have one ecosystem where all my money is, it earns interest, I can send money, receive money. It's just so seamless. So that's why I moved away from Wise, and don't even get me started on PayPal. I never liked that. I know some people absolutely love it, but I only had issues with it from spending money to receiving money, and they always locked up some of my funds over there. So I'm really gladly moving away from PayPal, and for time being, really gladly sticking with Wio and Revolut. With this, we move to the business category of all the tools that I use to run my day-to-day business operation. And surprisingly, that aren't really that many. So as I just mentioned before, first off, Wio Business. So here, all my funds are coming into business account, and from there, obviously, I manage and send it and whatever I have to, or pay myself into my personal account. So really easy and nicely integrates also with the personal. So it's very seamless. Then we move to the next tool, and that is Stripe. And honestly, I absolutely love this platform. It's the easiest way to get paid online. Yes, of course, they take a little fee. Depends which card and where you get paid. Can be, I think, 3 to 4, up to 5% in the most expensive cases. but it's just so nice. It integrates with pretty much all major websites out there. If you're planning to have a Shopify store, or I have for my Smart Money Club membership, for the online calls that I do, all the tools that I use to get paid, I integrated with Stripe. So I have different accounts or different business entities that I run. And then basically anyone who pays me through Apple Pay, Google Pay, they can basically do the checkout through Stripe. It's seamless. It works. It's one of the biggest payment providers. Most of the time when you do online transactions on Shopify or any other stores, at the back end, you will always come across Stripe. And that's for a reason. It's one of the biggest payment providers out there, if not the biggest one online. So if you're planning to ever get paid online and run a business, definitely check out Stripe. I couldn't be happier. It's so nice. And probably my most favorite phone notifications. It's always nice, when you're out for a run or you do something, you check your phone and you see Stripe payment coming in, you got paid. It still every time brings a big smile on my face. So definitely can really recommend Stripe for your business needs. And lastly, of course, you got to track your finances somehow, right? And in the past, I always left everything to the accountants. I pay for an accountant to do all my bookkeeping because yes, even in the UAE, you got to take your accounting serious. You got to track your income, your expenses. And obviously now with the introduction of VAT and corporate income tax, it is important to really stay on top of it. And in the past, I was never really involved and I blindly trusted my accountant that everything is okay until they switched to using Xero. And now I also have it on my phone, on my browser, and I can quickly get an idea of what's happening in my company, how the funds are going, which invoices are outstanding. And the cool thing is it also integrates with Stripe. So if you raise an invoice in Xero, for example, and then it gets paid, it will update automatically over here in Xero that the payment has been received through Stripe. So it's really, really nice, native integration, and I can really quickly see what's happening. And talking about invoicing, trust me, the first time I started sending invoices to partners, when I started my own business at the beginning of last year, I had no idea how to create an invoice. So I went to Canva, looked for invoice template, and then I was typing everything manually, who the company is, the invoice number, and it was just so cumbersome and clunky and took ages. And that's also the beauty of using Xero, because now I set up a company inside Xero, and once it's set up, I can, with the click of a button, raise an invoice for that. Just say, what is the amount? What is the service provided? And with one click of a button, that invoice is automatically sent to that email address with a Stripe link attached to it. So they can then at the back end pay with Apple Pay, Google Pay, the credit card, whatever, and then obviously make the payment. So it's really, really easy, much faster. And I now raise most of my invoices myself, say how much the company owes me, and then send the email off. And honestly, really, really simple. I absolutely love it. And also for expenses, really cool. Whenever I have a business expense, I pay with my WIO business card, right? And then I just take a picture of the VAT invoice and then send it to an email. You have an individual email inside of Xero. Just email it to there, and then you can set it up in a way that AI automatically classifies the expenses and says, this is a petrol expense, that's the amount, and already puts it into your books, or you can just add it to your files and then an accountant does it later. I know it's kind of weird to get excited about accounting system, but honestly, speaking from experience, I'm really happy with it so far. And lastly, let's talk about tracking my investments. And here I use mostly Delta, which is a great tool to put together all my various stockbrokers that I've shown you before in one simple interface. So I really like that it automatically updates all my various brokers. You can see over here, I can scroll through eToro, Interactive Brokers, Trading 212. So it's very simple to use. And obviously I can check to show the numbers. And then, I have my portfolio, my holding over here, how the portfolio developed. But not only that, also really great market insights. I actually use it a lot. It has a nice widget on my phone so I can see right away how the markets are doing. So honestly, really cool tool that I can definitely recommend. And lastly, a tool that I use every single month, and that's my monthly budget review and net worth tracker, which you can, by the way, get free of charge. You can find it in the description down below. There's a link. And honestly, it's such a game changer. I know it might look a little bit overwhelming at first, but trust me, once you start using it and do it regularly on a monthly basis, it's so nice to see how your month actually did, right? Did you make money or lost money? Because most of us know how much we earn, but how much did we actually spend, right? So you can really get a breakdown. What is your profit or loss for particular months? Your saving rate will automatically be calculated over here. And more importantly, also your net worth, right? Here I really list all the money that I have in my various banks. I have all my various investments. I just go into the various accounts that I've shown you before, write down the number, plus my apartment value, plus any business value that you have, and then it will show you a net worth over time, which hopefully will increase as time goes on, right? That's, I guess, why you're watching this channel, to grow our wealth over time. I think we all have the same intention. Yes, there can be little setbacks. For now, for example, if my crypto drops by 30%, 40%, of course, my net worth for that month, will take a little nosedive. But long term, I've been doing this for a number of years now, and I can see the trend going. And it's really nice to see once you hit different milestones, like the first time your portfolio hits 6 figures, eventually 7 figures, right? So I think it's really, really encouraging and good to see and track what is happening inside your portfolio and net worth. All right, friends, there you have it. These are the tools that I really use mostly on a pretty much daily basis to run my business, personal, financial life, and hopefully some of them can be useful for you as well. And if you do have any other great tools that I should be checking out, let me know in the comments down below. Excited to hear from you. Next up, check out this video over here. As always, thanks a lot for watching. Stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.